Good morning. Is it on? Good morning. I'm Carol Dunlap. I use she and her pronouns, and I serve on your board of directors. I'm delighted to be here this morning, and thank you for joining us and bringing yourself to join us in service. Whether you're new to our church, a long-term member, or a member of another UU congregation, we welcome you. Our church has been gathering in Richmond since long before the Civil War. We welcome you now. We've embraced strangers, dared to ask bold questions, and tried to bend the arc of justice to this earth. In the times where we did not succeed, we regrouped, tried again. We welcome you to join us in those efforts. We hope you find something here today that touches your heart. Whether you may arrive in your faith journey, know that you are welcome here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Good morning. I am the Reverend Sherman Z. Logan, Jr., and have the privilege of serving this wonderful congregation as the senior minister. I use he, his, him pronouns. Joining me this morning are the Reverends Amy Russell and Anna Tulu, our Director of Lifespan Faith Development, Leanne Luskin, our ministerial intern, Kirsten Fritz, our worship and music director, Jamie Kirkpatrick, our song leaders, Barry Ramsey, Hyatt Bain, and Darlene Dragobon, and our tech crew, Jim Cregan and Jeremy Whelan. And we're also delighted to have with us to share the ministry of music, our youth singers. So welcome to First UU, and whether you are joining us for the first time or have been with us on many times before, in person or virtually, we're so glad that you're here. And I want to take a moment to extend a warm welcome to everyone who is visiting with us this morning. So it is our custom here at First UU that we invite our visitors to tell us who you are and where you're from. So if you are visiting with us this morning, and as you are comfortable, Jamie will bring the mic to you, and you can tell us and introduce yourself. So are there any visitors?
I'm Rachel O'Brien. I've snuck in here a few times with Kenya, but she's made me an official visitor today. So.
Welcome.
Good morning, church. I'm Stacy Winters. I recently moved to Richmond from Frederick, Maryland. I'm here with my partner, Kimberly.
Welcome.
So I'm Kimberly, the partner. And I'm originally from Chicago, and I've been living here in Richmond for the past 6 years. So it's a wonderful life now that I have my partner with me and my fiance.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Karen Schrader. I moved away from Richmond in 2003, where I was a member here, and I join you virtually every Sunday, and I'm with my dear, dear friend, Dorothy Hollahan.
Welcome.
Oh, and I live in Lexington, North Carolina. That's why you turned in virtually.
There's someone back in the corner there, Jamie.
There is? Who's back in the... Hi, good morning. You want to say hi? Say hi.
Isaac.
Elliot. Nice. That for... Oh.
Hi, I'm Christian, and this is my first time here, but I've been in Richmond for a while now, so yeah.
Welcome. So thank you all for joining us this morning. We are so grateful for your presence. So as you're comfortable, please rise in body or spirit to greet our neighbors and welcome our visitors. I call to worship. We gather this morning tenderly like drops of dew on a leaf of grass, hopefully like gathered raindrops in a cloud, gleefully like water rushing in a stream to the sea, deeply like groundwater pulled up from a well. We gather from every direction for another year of growth and depth, another year of companionship and hope, another year of learning to love this world. We gather like the water that joins us across all of creation, the water that connects us within and without, merging and flowing across the entire world.
Our chalice lighting this morning is The Spirit of Water by Katie Savani Gelfand. We light this chalice as a symbol of reunion. We reunite in this sanctuary to share the flow of our hearts with one another. We gather together in ritual to celebrate our fountains of joy, to hold each other through storms of grief, to guide one another through rapids of transformation, to rest together in pools of stillness. Together, we honor the spirit of water, its many forms, and its life-giving essence.
Time also is like water. Past, present, and future cannot be neatly separated, but like a river flow and tumble into, over, and around one another. And so we call our ancestors into this space, recognizing that they are already here, always in the current, flowing around and through us. And we call our descendants into this space, acknowledging that our choices today will flow through their lives, remembering that we are ancestors becoming. Our opening hymn this morning is number 1007, There's a River Flowing in My Soul.
Good morning. Can you hear me? My name is Nicole McVeigh, and I am proud to serve as a board member of the Richmond Peace Education Center. The Peace Center was founded in 1980. It has been a voice for nonviolence and social justice in Richmond consistently for nearly 45 years. Some in this room, perhaps, you were or are a member or volunteer, or experienced Peace Center programs. For that, we are appreciative. I feel fortunate to have found the Peace Center when I moved back here in Richmond in January. I look forward to being a part of this community while sharing the mission and vision to others. Over the decades, the Peace Center taught conflict resolution skills to thousands of people. It empowered teenagers to be leaders for peace and community change. Over the decades, the Peace Center volunteers and staff have educated the Richmond community about peaceful alternatives to war and oppression, and they have worked for racial justice. Peace Center programs have planted countless seeds of positive change, and its gatherings knit together people from all backgrounds who share peace values. Some recent programs that we have done this summer include conflict training to camp counselors so that they and their campers have a memorable summer experience. A week-long peace camp for elementary students learning how to express themselves in a more peaceful manner. And there are many more we are planning in the future. The road to peace has never been smooth. It always required individuals who believe in the core values of peace, nonviolence, and social justice to lean in and to give and to build a community of peace together. Today, the Peace Center has been infused with new board membership in leadership, poised to plan and implement the next phase of the Peace Center's work to build a more peaceful, just community. Your support through Share the Plate will make its continued work possible. Thank you, and peace.
It's time to take our morning offering in the sanctuary. There will be baskets that will be passed, and on your screen there are listed ways to give. We thank you for your generous contributions.
Thank you, Jamie, and thank you, everyone. This is the time when we have a story for all ages. I'm going to tell our story from this chair right over here. If there are any young people or young at heart people who might like to come rise and sit with us so you can hear better or be closer, I have some coloring sheets that say water is life. So now is your invitation to come have a seat on the color blocks, and we will hear our story. How are we? Oh, yes. There we go. Our story today is called Higgins, A Drop with a Dream. And I didn't write this story. It's by Reverend Chris Weiss. So once upon a time, there was a drop of water named Higgins. And Higgins was no ordinary drop of water for many reasons, but Higgins had a dream. You see, Higgins lived in a valley where it had not rained in a very long time. And so the grass was turning dry and brown and crispy, and the flowers were wilting, and even the trees were starting to droop. And Higgins knew that he had to do something, but what could he do? After all, he was only a drop of water. So one day, Higgins decided to travel and tell others about his dream of the valley being lush and beautiful again. And the other drops, they listened very politely, but no one really believed him. "Higgins," they said, "get your head out of the clouds. You can't spend your whole life dreaming." But Higgins still knew that something had to be done, and so he began to think and think and think. And then one day, he was walking past a rusty old bucket, and he got an idea. He thought, if enough of us drops get together in this bucket, then there would be enough water to sprinkle on some of the flowers to help them grow beautiful again. So excitedly, he decided to tell everyone about his great idea. And they all thought that he was being rather foolish. "That Higgins," they said, "nothing but a dreamer." But Higgins decided that he could do something to try to convince the others. And he said to them, "I don't know about you, but I'm going into this bucket. I hope that some of you will join me, and then we might have enough water to sprinkle on some of the flowers to help them be beautiful again." And so he ran as hard as he could, and he jumped high up into the air, and he landed in the bucket, kerplunk, and there he sat. We'll get there. Ooh, yes. What's that expression that I model imperfection so we can all model grace? There we go. Where was I? Higgins had landed in the bucket, right? Kerplunk. And there he sat, just a drop in the bucket. And for a long time, he was really lonely. And he wasn't sure that any of the other drops would ever join him in that bucket. But after a while, the other drops started to see for themselves that all of that lovely grass was dying, and the flowers were so wilted, and the trees were so droopy and sad. And they agreed that something must be done. And so suddenly, one other drop shouted, "I'm going in the bucket with Higgins." And so she ran and jumped high up in the air and landed kerplunk in that bucket. And then before long, two other drops shouted, "Wait for us!" And here they come, running, and they jump in the bucket. And then 10 more drops jumped in the bucket. And then 30, and then 50, hundreds of drops all came and jumped in the bucket. And before long, that bucket was full, but there were still drops coming who wanted to get in the bucket. So they got a second one. And before long, that bucket was full. And then a third, and a fourth, and then hundreds, and then thousands of buckets full of water. And along came a powerful breeze, some might say the winds of change, and they blew all those buckets over. And everywhere that the water flowed, it formed a mighty stream. And everywhere that that stream flowed, the grass turned green again, and the flowers bloomed, and the trees stood tall and straight once more. And all of that happened because Higgins had a dream, and he didn't give up on it, even when people didn't believe him, or they thought he was being foolish and a dreamer. And then his dream came true. Because although he knew that he was just a drop in a bucket, that enough drops make a bucket full, and enough buckets of water, then, it's your turn. You ready? Enough buckets of water.
The only one saying it. Then justice will roll down like waters and righteous like a stream, mighty stream.
Yeah, the waters will roll down like justice and righteousness like a mighty stream. You all were very excellent listeners, and thank you for helping me with the end of the story. If you are one of our youth music singers, thank you, Miss Ruby, you can go ahead and join Miss Jamie. Now we get to hear a song from our kids. Thanks, everybody.
Go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the fire, living in the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around. Whoa, so is life. Whoa, so is life. Whoa, so is life. Oh, so is life. We come from the water, living in the water. Go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water. Go back to the water, turn the world around. Whoa, so is life. Whoa, so is life. Whoa, so is life. Whoa, so is life. We come from the mountain, living on the mountain. Go back to the mountain, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living on the mountain. Go back to the mountain, turn the world around. Whoa, so is life. Whoa, so is life. Whoa, so is life. Whoa, so is life. Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Do you know who I am? Do you know who we are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Oh, so is life. Oh, so is life. sunlight turn the world around. Heart is of the river, body is the mountain, spirit is the sunlight turn the world around. We are of the Spirit, truly of the Spirit, only can the Spirit turn the world around.
Wow, great. Like most grandparents, I love to tell stories about my grandchildren. So here I am, telling you one today. One morning, very early, because my grandchildren get up really early, like 5:30, 6 o'clock, I got up with my 4-year-old grandson, and we didn't know what to do. Everybody else in the house was asleep. And we went down to the kitchen, and I said, how'd you like to make pancakes for everybody? He said, yes, let's do that. So we got out a big bowl, and we measured the flour, he measured the milk and the baking powder, and then I gave him a spoon, and he started stirring around the pancakes, and his face just lit up, and he said, Mimi, this is going very well. So I love that phrase. So whenever I see a time when I think things are going well, I said, this is going very well. So many of us have heard the term Ubuntu. It means I am because we are. In African culture, it describes an attitude of defining oneself in relation to others. As South Africa sought ways to heal their own devastating divisions, this philosophy asked people to consider what they could create together as interdependent beings in community. Remember that word, interdependent, one of our values? Archbishop Desmond Tutu explained, my humanity is bound up in yours, for we can only be human together. He called on each person to work collectively together to achieve a new healing in their society, using their own humanness for collective good. What we can do together, we cannot do alone. Working collectively calls for each person to bring their own gifts to contribute to the whole. I can accomplish some things by myself, like I could bake a cake, I could sew a quilt, but when it comes to making a whole meal or surrounding an ill person with several meals, then we need all of us to accomplish that. What we do together, we cannot do alone. There are so many times when I'm looking around at First UU and I see the youth choir practicing together when there's a Vespers going on, or all of us sitting down to a soul for supper that so many people contributed to, or the quilters making small quilts that are sent to some of our members when they're ill. There are so many times when I see us working together to create this whole congregation. What we can do together, we cannot do alone.
Jamie, I want to kind of stay in that space for a little bit. That felt good. I wonder what comes to your mind when you hear the word spill. When I was a child, I was all knees and elbows and impulse, and spilling was a common experience. That cliche of crying over spilled milk was not an uncommon response for me. So spilling meant a mess, it meant having to clean up, it meant my parents grumbling. And as I got older, spilling also came to mean waste. What was spilled could no longer be used. What was in that glass was supposed to stay in that glass, at least until it was used or consumed. Thinking about it now, that understanding of spilling centered around the stuff, the thing that was spilled, rather than centering life. But the meaning of words and events can shift with context, sort of like that whole glass half empty, glass half full thing. It's the same glass, the same substance, the same amount, but one's focus on its emptiness or fullness is wholly a matter of perspective. One is of scarcity and the other abundance. My prior understanding of what it meant to spill came from a sense of scarcity. So it was a professor of mine, Dr. Mark Hicks, who thankfully disrupted that meaning for me. Mark used to tell us that in order to thrive, we must sip from the saucer. And he would say it with so much love and these twinkling eyes. And I was so confused by that image. Because if you're sipping from the saucer, that means that something spilled out of the cup, right? And spilling is bad? At least I thought so. And I love that Dr. Hicks never explained it. He just let it seep in. He was sharing a secret. Spilling, yes, can be understood as an act of loss, as waste, but it can also be seen as an overflowing of abundance. What was spilled was extra. The cup was so full that it overflowed into the saucer, and that was enough to sip from, trusting that the cup would remain full. Fill the cup, sip from the saucer. A fountain works that way, a spring or a river. The water pours in, it takes the shape of whatever it enters into and fills until it overflows, running in abundance over stone and earth, splashing ever forward, even as it is being shaped, shaping whatever it encounters. We gather in this congregation for many reasons, for community, for spiritual growth, to work for justice. Many of us arrive with our cup only half full or empty, as you will, and we are thirsty, and we come hoping that our cup will be filled. And this ingathering, this water communion, all of our time in community, is about filling our own and one another's cups so that we can not guard our cup jealously because still water grows stagnant, but so that we can pour our gifts and our love and our energy together so that all are filled to the brim, abundant life and love overflowing and spill powerfully into the world, ready to shape and be shaped by all we touch. So may it be. Our youth choir is going to now sing a song that was written by Jamie Kirkpatrick.
Don't get that excited. It's just it's a song, like, so we have new values, right? And they all center on love, right? We've been talking about this a lot. There's 6 of them. Can y'all, like, name any of them? Interdependence, justice, pluralism, equity, interdependence. We did, yep. Generosity, and what's the one with equity? Yeah, that's one. Yeah, I think we hit them all. Anyway, I just wrote it's just a cute little song because I wanted them to learn them better than I know them. Anyway, scatter.
Love flows, love flows, love flows through me like a life-giving stream. Love flows, love flows, love flows through me like a life-giving stream. I believe in equity. I treat all people fairly. I'll fight for justice proudly. Nobody's free till we all are free. Love flows, love flows, love flows through me like a life-giving stream. Love flows, love flows, love flows through me like a life-giving stream. Interdependence is clear to see. I need you and you need me. I believe in generosity. I'll share with you compassionately. Love flows, love flows, love flows through me like a life-giving stream. Love flows, love flows, love flows through me like a life-giving stream. Transformation is necessary. Standing still ain't no way to be. You be you and I'll be me. That's pluralism and diversity. Love flows, love flows, love flows through me like a life-giving stream. Love flows, love flows, love flows through me like a life-giving stream. Love flows, love flows, love flows through me like a life-giving stream. Love flows, love flows, love flows through me like a life-giving stream.
Thank you, choir. Very nice. I feel the love flowing through this room as I speak. So, my friends, as we are gathered to begin this new church year, I want to extend a special invitation, an invitation to share ministry. You see, shared ministry is at the heart of what we do here at First UU. It is a radical, empowering concept that says ministry is not the sole responsibility of the ministers or religious professionals. Instead, it is a collective endeavor, a collaboration among us all, grounded in the belief that every person has gifts to offer, and these gifts are central to the well-being and flourishing of our congregation. Now, before you get nervous, this is not a call to serve or volunteer, but a deeper, more profound invitation to embrace the idea that each of us has a unique role to play in the life of this community and the work of justice, compassion, and love that we're all called to do together. And this invitation challenged us to move beyond our comfort zone. It calls us to be open, not to just giving of ourselves, but to receiving from others. And in doing so, we become part of a spiritual practice, a reciprocity, where we give and receive support, guidance, and love. And this reciprocal relationship fosters a sense of belonging and a commitment as we come to realize that our contribution, however small they may seem, are integral to the vibrancy and health of this community. And shared ministry compels us to confront our assumptions about who is qualified to lead and serve. It asks us to be intentional about inclusivity, ensuring that our ministry is not confined to a select few, but is accessible to all who are called to participate. This means we must create spaces where diverse voices are heard and valued, and where everyone feels empowered to bring their full selves to the work of the congregation. Now, you know we live in a world where division and hierarchies often dictate who have power and voice. And shared ministry stands as a radical act of equality and justice, and affirm that every person has something to offer simply by the virtue of being. And this inclusive approach fosters a culture of mutual respect and care, where the well-being of each individual is seen as interconnected within the well-being of the whole. Now, if you choose to accept my invitation to share ministry, know that it's not without its challenges. It requires us to be vulnerable, a willingness to let go of control, and a commitment to ongoing learning and growth. But friends, it is also profoundly liberating. It allows us to experience the fullness of what it means to be in a community, to be seen, heard, and valued for who we are, and to see, hear, and value others in returns. And as we engage in shared ministry, we are practicing love. We are choosing to care for each other, to support each other, and build a relationship of trust and mutual respect. We are practicing justice as we work together to address the needs of our community to make this world a more equitable and compassionate place. And in doing so, we are practicing humility as we recognize, as you have heard me say on many occasions, that we are all in this together. We all have something to learn from each other, and we all have something to contribute. So I ask, as we reflect on my invitation to share ministry, let us consider how we can fully embrace this call in our lives. How can we use our unique gifts to serve and support one another? How can we make space for others to share their gifts? And how can we continue to build a community that reflects our values of our Unitarian Universalist faith that is centered in love? In answering these questions, we not only deepen our own spiritual journey, but also contribute to the ongoing transformation of our community and the world around us. Together in shared ministry, we are capable of creating something far greater than any of us could achieve alone. May this be so.
Today is water communion. And for our visitors, or if this is a totally new idea to you, that's okay. Our whole theme for this month is invitation. So if you're new, this is new information about water communion today. You are invited to participate in a way that feels good and comfortable for you. No one has to do anything. So I'm going to explain a little bit about it, and then a little how we do it, and then I will come down onto the floor so I can help direct our stream, if you will. For our water communion, we gather together and we bring water that is meaningful to us. I know people who have gathered a little bit of water in the shower because that's where they do their daily gratitude practice. I know people who gather water from places they've traveled and they bring it back here. A lake near their home. There are infinite number of places or ways that water is meaningful to us, and we bring it here. We mingle this water, and it is blessed by us because it is meaningful to us and because we bring it here and gather it together. There's water here from members of our community who are not with us anymore. We save this water. We use it in our child dedication after we sanitize it. And then it carries through until next year. And we do this every year. There's this beautiful continuity of before and now and into the future. And there's this beautiful gathering and mingling of what is meaningful to us in this community. Sound good? Yeah. I love explaining this to people who aren't Unitarian Universalists. Like, that's amazing. It's beautiful. It's one of my favorite things that we do. So the how we do it, our stream will come down the center here. There's the large bowl. If you brought water that is meaningful to you, wonderful. You can add a little bit of that water to the large bowl. If you forgot or you're new today, that's okay. We have pitchers of water, and you can add a little bit from the pitcher. We want this ritual to be accessible for people. So if it feels easier or more comfortable for you to stay in your seat, we have the wonderful Anne-Marie McCartan is going to volunteer to come to you. If you have your own water, great. You can add it to the little bowl. We also have a little pitcher of water, so you could pour that as well. So when it's your section's turn, please just give a little wave or let us know that you would like Anne-Marie to come to you, and we're happy to do that. I'm going to come down onto the floor to help direct our flow. So we're going to start on this side of the room, on the side of the Memorial Garden, and make our way across. I really invite you to let this be a time of quiet and contemplation and breathing and togetherness. And I'm so looking forward to this ritual with all of you. Jamie's going to play us some beautiful music, and I'll let you know when to get started. I'm going to come down here.
Now, I invite our children and youth to join Miss Leanne and I as we bless the water in the Memorial Garden.
There it is. And the rest of us, we are learning a new piece of music. Children, do you want to go? Go hang out with Sherman. Go outside. It's nice out there. All right, so this song has a bunch of pieces in it, and we're gonna go like one at a time, and when you find one you like, you're just gonna keep doing it. But the main theme, it's just two words, holy waters, and it goes, holy waters, holy waters. That's literally it, you just keep doing that, go for it. Doing great. Do it again. And there's a part on top that they're going to lead you in that goes like this. Part two. Holy water, wake us to forgiveness. Holy water, wake us to the power. It's kind of the same, you'll probably figure it out, but this is holy waters make us new. It goes like, holy water make us new. Holy waters make us whole. Holy waters make us free. Holy waters make us one. I liked that. Let's do that bit again. The holy waters make us new. Here we go. Holy waters make us new. Holy waters make us whole. Holy waters make us free. Holy waters make us one.
thank you all for participating. Before we close the service for today, we want to invite everyone, even our guests, us for our homecoming potluck picnic. It will be in Bird Park at the Carillon Pavilion Picnic Shelter. So it's back near Dogwood Dell. There is handicap parking. If you are able, we ask that you stay in your current parking space and walk over, but if you aren't, there is handicap parking and there are bathrooms there. So for our chalice extinguishing, we extinguish this chalice to mark that our time pooled together here has ended. As you leave this sanctuary, you are invited to take a vial of water from the table back as you leave. It contains water from the past water communion. So may the water from this community feed the wellspring of your spirit until we are together again.
Thank you, Kirsten. Please rise in body and spirit as I give the benediction. All Rivers Rise to the Sea by Kaylee Rice. It starts with a drop, then a trickle, a burble, a rush of water bubbling through its destination, and finally the wide, endless sea. All rivers run to the sea. Today you brought water, poured it into a common bowl. Though our experiences had differed, these waters mingle, signify our community and our common humanity. Today you came and shared in this sacred community, and may you depart this space, hearts filled with hope and new beginning, a fresh start. Go forth, but return to this community, where rivers of tears may shed, where dry souls are watered, where your joy bubbles, where your life cup overflows, where deep in your spirit you are found in this place at home. All rivers run to the sea. Now go forth knowing that you're blessed. Go in peace. And let us sing our closing hymn, I Got Peace Like a River.